Welcome to the podcast. Today I'm joined by Randy Bridge. I'm a veteran, blue collar leaders, and author of Hard Hat Philosophy, who share no nonsense leadership lessons built on trust, accountability, and real work. It's really a pleasure having you on the show, Randy. Yeah, what was it like growing up?
I grew up in a lower class family. We always struggled for money, so I didn't grow up wealthy by any stretch. My dad was a police officer, and my mom was a dispatcher at the police shop, and it was I don't know, it was kind of hand to mouth. So not everything was easy for me, but I kind of rebelled against everything growing up. Wasn't a bad kid, but I wasn't really, how do I want to put it, really tame, I guess.
Yeah,
I just I've gotten better over the years, and I'm 53 now, and uh, I I did do some things when I was younger that I don't really, I kind of regret, I guess I would say, but I've grown past that, turned into a leader. I started at the bottom, kind of working on. I used to clean toilets for a living, and I made it all the way up to director with the current company that I'm at. And then a couple of years ago, I decided to step back into more of an operational role, and it was really the best move I could have made. Rather than staying a director, it taught me so many things, and I decided that it was time that somebody wrote a book.
yeah, amazing, amazing. Thank you, Randy. So, Randy, what does blue collar leadership means to you? Why is it relevant today?
Well, so what it means is I have three principles. They are show up even when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's thankless. And second is do honest work. No shortcuts, no fake productivity, no making up numbers, that sort of thing. And then finally, the most important piece is take care of your people. Not with slogans, but with actions. Make sure that you look after your people as you would your own family. That's how I've become so successful with my current crew. Just making sure that we're all kind of part of the same family. If you think about it, most people spend more time at work than they do at home with their own family. So those people are part of your family if you look at it um, correctly. So I wrote the book because I got tired of leadership books written by people who've never cleaned a toilet at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
And I have. If somebody were to come up to me and say, "Why did you write this?" I'd say, "You know what? There's no books out there about people who started at the very bottom, went to the top, and then decided to go back down a couple levels." So that's what I did.
yeah, amazing. Thanks so much, Randy. So how did your army experience shape the leader you became in civilian industry?
So the main thing that I learned about in the Army was how to basically slow down and do things the right way. I mean, it taught me more about resilience than I ever know. I learned more about myself in the Army than probably anything. I learned that I was capable of way more than I thought I was. So that really kind of blended into what my leadership philosophy is. So the main thing is doing things the right way. I mean, there's a standard way and there's an off-standard way. So the Army taught me to do things correctly, the right way, the standard way,
Yeah,
and I've kind of carried that on.
yeah, amazing. Doing things the right way. What is the biggest leadership mistake you see manager making on the shop floor?
Well, the main thing I see is there's a guy that I describe in the book that's basically a clipboard guy. So he stays in the office while everybody else does the work. I don't do that. I go out with the folks on the floor and actually engage in the work and help them with the work. The clipboard people are mainly the folks that just stay in the office and they don't really get out of there and see what their folks are up to. So it's important for me to make sure that I do that. But that is the biggest mistake you could ever make as a leader, because number one, your people, if you're not out there with them, they kind of view you on a different level, right? They look at you in a different light. Okay, so if I'm out there with them, I'm one of them. Does that make sense? So if you're one of them and you're out there doing the job and helping with things, you are actually providing the glue for the team.
Yeah,
And if you're not out there and you're just kind of supervising from a distance or reading numbers, you're not actually part of that team. And the
yeah,
guys see that. The guys always see that.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Being out there, working with them, it actually creates trust and it creates some level of authenticity. Being that you're with them all through, and yeah, it's really amazing. So
Yeah.
can you share a lessons, the lesson the shop floor taught you about boardroom? Which boardroom can never teach you?
Okay. So the boardroom attitude to me, they speak a completely different language in the boardroom. So they talk about synergy. They talk about we need to do this with FTEs, full time employees, right? They don't think about the folks that they're talking about as people. And I really think that you have to um, look at your folks as people and look at how they are as people. So if you're not looking at them as people and you're just looking at them as numbers on a page, you're going to make some pretty crappy decisions,
Yeah,
in my opinion, because you're not considering these as part of the human race. They're just numbers, right? I've been in that situation. I've made those decisions, and I didn't like it. To be fair, I didn't like it at all. It was something that I'm not a big fan of, but being on the floor, it really helps you see the real people, the problems that they have in their lives. And if you can be of some sort of help to them folks, that's really the leader that I try to be.
yeah. Many leadership books fail in real workplace. Why do you think that happened?
There's too many buzzwords. They're thinking on terms of theory, and I look at things in practicality, right? So a lot of these folks that write these leadership books are theorists. I look at it as this is what actually happens on the floor. So I don't have any vision boards. It's mostly just grease, sweat, and reality, right? And if it's really built from real lived experience and not from theory. So that's really what makes the book different.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. So how do authority and respect differs, and why does it matter for leaders?
So I view authority as sure the company has given you this authority or whoever has given you this authority, but people don't respect authority. They respect honesty, they respect people that show up, they respect people that help. So the main thing is people that have authority don't necessarily have respect. And the only way that you can earn respect is by showing up, doing the work, and taking care of your folks.
Yeah, showing up, do the work. Yeah, amazing. So what is one hardest lessons you learn the hard way as a leader?
Oh, I think that's tough. I learned a lot of them as a leader. Probably one of the hardest lessons I learned is that I don't know everything. So when I make a decision, I have to include other people that know more than I do. And there's folks out there that know way more than I do about this business. And I've learned things from a brand new guy, and I've learned things from a guy who's been turning wrenches for 40 years. So that's kind of the biggest thing
Yeah,
that I've
amazing.
learned.
Yeah, amazing. Making the decision and actually more like following through. Yeah, amazing. So how should leaders respond when their crew has checked out or stopped caring?
Okay, so the first thing that they need to do is reset the frame. So obviously they don't have the crew's respect, and what they need to do, the first thing is earn that respect, and it takes time. There's no quick and easy answer
Yeah,
to turn it around, but you have to change the way you are leading. There are no bad crews. There's only bad leaders, right? If you are leading them correctly, your crew will be perform just exactly in the way you expect them to. If you're not leading correctly, the problem's with you. You need to look in the mirror. If you don't have their respect, they're not going to work for you. They're just not. Any blue collar leader that I know has the respect of their team. Any successful one anyway. But if you don't get that respect back, if you don't earn that trust back, you're never going to get them to do everything that you want them to. But once you have that trust and respect, it all becomes easy, right? It all becomes, hey, can you do this? And then they do it.
yeah.
They do the best job possible. Generally, has been my experience.
Trust and respect. Yeah, amazing. Thank you
Trust
for
and
that.
respect.
Yeah. So what advice will you give someone stepping into leadership role for the first time?
Okay, so for the first time, number one, don't go in acting like you know everything.
Yeah, don't
Go
go
in,
in like
yeah, go in with a learning mindset. Try to learn from the guys. Go in and watch them and see how they do things. And over time, that's going to develop into respect because the guys see that, hey, this person respects me enough to come see what I do and take my point of view into consideration. If you don't do that, you're not going to be successful. You're probably not even going to be in the job that long, to be honest. They'll drive you out. So the main thing is going with a learning mindset. Don't think you know everything because that's what gets you into the most trouble. Every time I've seen it happen over and over.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Don't go in like you know everything. And I think it's very lovely, especially being a leader, leading a team. Yeah, leading a team that everyone knows most. So most time it's very lovely when the employees or more like member of your team knows that they know more than you, but still you are so vulnerable in terms of uh wanting to hear their opinion before making decision. And yeah, giving credit to even when that process is being carried on. I think it's very lovely compared to coming in, showing that you know everything, and at the end of the day, there's going to be one glitch or the other. They wouldn't forgive you for that compared to when you come in with the mindset of,
Yep.
I don't know it all. What do you have to say? What do you think? Yeah, amazing.
Exactly right. And another thing that I would advise has been huge for me is showing your appreciation. You've got to show your appreciation to people because if you just take it for granted that people are going to do this thing, they'll just kind of quit doing it, right?
Yeah,
If you show your appreciation consistently and let them know that you care and you're thankful for it, these folks will walk through the gates of hell for you. They absolutely will.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, how can veteran translate their military leadership skill into civilian workplace successfully?
So translating is kind of a difficult thing to do. And again, I go back to the just learning, going with the mindset of learning, and because you could go from a job that's, let's say, in it's a corporate job at a desk, and you don't manage any people, and then all of a sudden you're managing a crew of machinists, right? Those are two completely different worlds. So if you're walking into that, you need to come in with a mindset just like a new hire would of, hey, I don't know everything. This is really not my world. It's out of my wheelhouse. This is something that I need to learn about, right? So if you go in with a mindset of learning and you don't look at the folks with the mindset of, hey, I'm better than you, it, that part's never going to work.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah,
keep them in mind, and that's all about building respect.
yeah, yeah, amazing. So, lastly, if you could actually give a piece of advice to leadership that actually work, what would it be?
Okay, so the main thing is you have to treat your folks like people. You have to treat your folks like people. These are people with wants and dreams and expectations and families. And if you walk in and show them or look at them like they're a tool to get you where you want to go, that's never going to work. I mean, number one. Number two is you're not going to be successful that way. But if you walk in with the mindset of, hey, I'm going to take care of my people, we're going to make sure that things are well for them, not only at work but outside of work, because that's a person, that's the whole person. So you have to look at them like that. You can't look at them like just a number or a tool or something that's there for your use or your company's use. Right. That's the main thing, is just viewing them as human beings.
Yeah, viewing them as human beings, being that they have goals and aspirations. Just knowing that, them knowing that you care a lot about their dreams and aspirations is definitely going to kind of any more respect and trust, and easier for you to lead them owing to the fact that they knows you care, and they knows that any opportunity that come handy to better them will definitely relate it. Yeah, and
Yep.
that's really amazing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So Randy, for my audience who want to reach out to you, who want to learn more, and who want to connect with you, where can they reach out to you, and where is the best platform to do this?
Hardhatphilosophy.com. Also, I'd like to offer your readers a free PDF copy of my book. If you go to hardhatphilosophy.com and uh, there's a button up top that says get your free copy. This is just through next week. You can get a free copy of Hard Hat Philosophy.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. So Randy, tell us about your book and what is the key insights you want every audience to actually get out of it, buying it, and yeah, reading it.
So the key point points of my book are I talk about um, kind of my early upbringing with my grandpa in the shed. He taught me a lot by not really talking to me much at all. So it was pretty phenomenal the type of leadership that he exhibited. He wanted me to learn on my own, but he kind of directed me in a way. Helping my grandpa in the shed was probably the biggest part of uh, of my book. I think there's a chapter about it. And then after I got back from um, Desert Storm, I was homeless for a little while. So I talk about that kind of in the second chapter. What I learned from that is you learn things from everything you do, right? So I slept in my truck for a while, and my sister had to kind of save me from being homeless. So that was part of it. But I go through these lessons, and everything that I've went through has taught me something about being a leader and being a good person. So, and that's mainly what I go through in the book. There's some funny stuff in there, and there's some strange characters that I outline that are in the locomotive diesel shops. That we do have a good time. It's not all just work. We give each other crap and things like that. So it kind of goes through some of that, and there's some funny parts in there. So
Yeah.
I hope that folks find it entertaining. It was fun to write for sure.
Thank you so much, Al. Thank you for sharing your practical, no nonsense leadership lessons. Listener can grab our free resources and learn more at hardheartsphilosophy.com. Thank you for tuning into the Aro Benaiah Show. Once again, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show, Randy.
It was a pleasure, Arrow. Thank you for having me.